holding all the worst cards I feel 2 feet tall. I'll stand and shout, no holding back. Do or die, gonna dig myself a hole. Oh, do or die, gonna dig myself a hole. Now I'm hanging tough and I'm never falling back. When defense fails, I'm going on the attack. I stand and shout, no holding back. Do or die, gonna dig myself a hole. Oh, do or die, gonna dig myself a hole. Hey, hey! Die, gonna dig myself a hole. Oh, do or die, gonna dig myself a hole. Do or die, gonna dig myself a hole. Oh, do or die, gonna dig myself a hole. Hey, hey! Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this special show. I'm having to keep my voice down just a little bit because we have guests sleeping next door. So if I'm talking a little bit more quietly than normal, that will be why. So I suggest you turn up your speakers just a hair more than you normally would for my show. I would appreciate that. So yeah, welcome. Happy New Year, everybody. It is 2020 here in Edinburgh, in Scotland, in the glorious United Kingdom. And it's been a very busy, amazing day. I've had lots of people around here, lots of guests. I'm all guessed out, pretty much. And I was watching Jonny's show sat on the roof of the house because at midnight, when Jonny started his show, which is 6 p.m. Central Time, that's exactly midnight here in the UK. I was sat on the roof and I was taking pictures, and I had Jonny's show in the background and everything as well. And it is very cold outside. It is about -3 degrees Celsius tonight, and there was about half an inch of solid sheet ice on the roof. And so it was a little bit slippery up there. So I had my glass and my phone, and I had my feet wedged on roof tiles to try and stop me from sliding off the roof. It was great fun, very entertaining, but I'm glad to be able to come on and do a very short show to see all you guys into the new year. So for you guys in the United States, it won't be quite 2020 for you guys, but I'm sure you'll be looking forward to it. Of course, Rainer, who is in Germany, is well into 2020 already, because being in Germany, they are an hour ahead of us in the UK. So awesome. And it looks like we've got a reasonable little gathering here as well. Not bad, considering I only advertised this maybe 40 minutes ago. So so here we go. Just Bob was the first one in the door. And we've got Dave Vignola here as well. Don't know whether he's still here, but he certainly has been here. And he says, Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you all have an amazing 2020. Awesome, thank you. And Ken Moss is here. He says, Happy New Year. We're coming up on 9 p.m. here, so just about 3 hours to go. Just about to start a movie that my daughter really wants to watch, so I can't be here long. Okay, Ken. Well, I mean, as I say, this is totally unplanned, unannounced. So if you guys are all got busy things to do, then we'll keep this real short. And I'm sure you'll all be wanting to see in the new year. I will not be staying up that long. Excuse me, I'm still not very well. I think the last time we spoke, I had a cold, and it basically isn't really going anywhere fast. So once we've got New Year's out the way, I'm down to the doctor to go and get myself checked out and find out why this darn thing won't shift. So yeah, so other than that, other than having a cold and a very sore throat and just feeling a bit congested, I'm doing all right. And I've had a very, very entertaining Christmas. I've been based at my parents' place in Burnt Island. Those of you that have been on Jonny's shows this week, you'll have seen me saying hello from Burnt Island. Well, that's where my parents stay, and we've been based there, and then we've been going up and down the north east coast of Scotland to play a few gigs. It's been great fun. Lots of fun, lots of driving, and lots of leaning up against a bass amp for most of the time when we're driving, and trying not, when the brakes are on and we're coming up to a junction or something, we have to put the brakes on or something. I've been kind of like leaning back to try and stop the amp from basically killing the driver. So that's been entertaining. Who else we got here? We got Thomas Melkerson. He's here. Happy New Year to you, my friend. And Sean Aaron is here. Good to see you. Michael Neighbor is here. He says, I thought you weren't doing a stream until the 5th. Yes, you're right. Am I drunk? No. I just thought, hey, it's New Year's. Why the heck not? So there you go. Just Bob says, seems more like a drunken Irishman moment than a Scotsman. Yes, well, I am half Irish, so it is the Irish side of me that thought, screw it, it's New Year's. What the hell? Why not? Let's see. Michael says, I'm making music. I hope I can keep it up. Well, I hope you can keep it up too. I think that is a great way to start 2020, Mike. Seriously. He says, I started classes on production and sync licensing. Awesome. That is fantastic. Making goals is a big part of it. Yes, absolutely. Well, if you want to create anything that's going to gain traction, even if you only get a few listeners or purchases of your stuff, or your music only gets placed a few times, you know what? You got to set goals. You got to work your way, kind of start with the end product, which is releasing something, and then work your way back and, break it down into small chunks. That's what I do. That's how I put out my music. I go, okay, I'm going to put out an EP or an album or a single on X date, and then I work my way back. And sometimes I don't make it. Like this year, this past year, 2019, I was going to put an EP out. I have written all the songs, and I've recorded 3 of them. 3 out of the 6 songs. And then just some other stuff kind of happened. Some family-related stuff started happening. And it just kind of got put to one side. So I'm hopeful that I can finish recording and get it out this year. And you know what? If you don't make a deadline, it's okay. It's okay. Don't kill yourself over it or beat yourself up over it. It's okay to miss a deadline. I've done it. Especially self-imposed ones. They're important. It's important that you try and make them, but if you don't make it, it's not the end of the world. If it's a client's deadline and they are paying you to meet that deadline, well, that's another subject. But certainly, if it's a self-imposed deadline, it's okay if you don't make it. But you really should try your absolute level best to make it. But if you don't, you don't. It's not a big deal. But I'm really glad that you're making music. That's very cool. And you're getting lots of encouragement there, which is great. Ken says, I'm right with you, Mike. We can help each other. Awesome. See, pacemakers, they are very, very useful. Not just if you're an athlete running a marathon or, 10,000 meters or something like that. Pacemakers are really, really good in life. Just to have somebody who can run alongside you and say, come on, let's keep this pace. Let's get to the next goal, the next miniature goal before you get to the big goal, the getting the thing out there. So having Ken alongside you, I think would be incredibly valuable. To be honest, Ken is a great guy, and he puts out a lot of work. So definitely he is someone to get alongside too. I would definitely agree with that. Ken says, I find my creative juices flow more when I'm working with someone else. Yeah, I have found that too. I had a songwriting partner for years. I've written my own stuff and I've written stuff with my songwriting partner. We've been writing for maybe 25 years. And, we write stuff together. When we write stuff together, we usually write for other artists to record. It's not really that we make our own records out of it. It's usually that we are commissioned to write a song or write an album for another artist. So we do that together. But when it comes to working on my own, I make my own records out of it. I don't tend to, as a solo songwriter, I don't tend to write for other people. That's not to say I wouldn't. I would like to. I would like to, be set the challenge of, hey, would you write a song for me for X record? Yeah, I would definitely be up for doing that. But nobody has approached me to do that yet. But yeah, Ken and Mike, I think you guys would make a great team working on stuff together. Absolutely. And it may well be just the tonic you need, Mike. I would hazard to say. So it is 2 minutes past 2 in the morning here in Scotland, and we have Dave here from Home Recording Made Easy. He says, hey everybody, Happy New Year, Dave, my good friend, and you and I have done some really good work together in 2019, and I thank you very much for your support and your encouragement in this last year, and so really looking forward to stuff that we can do together in 2020. It's going to be awesome. Rayner's here. He says, starting 2020 with a podcast about music production. That would be great. But it will be in German, and we also do some Studio One local meetings for Personas and SPL. That's awesome, Rayner. Music production podcasts in German would be extremely valuable. Absolutely. For sure. I just wish I could speak German. I understand maybe a little German, but as for speaking it, no, I don't really. I would like to. Especially as the Persona software team are based in Hamburg, and they're all Germans, or most of them are Germans. I think a few of them Austrians, but they're mostly Germans. And a lot of my good friends are German. I have lots of friends in Berlin. and I have some friends in Bonn. Because I used to years ago I used to play the Berlin Jazz Festival and things like that. But I've not been to Berlin in many years, probably over 20 years now. Maybe close to 25 years since I was last in Germany. But hopefully, I will be making some in 2020. Hopefully, I'll be making some more regular visits to Germany for reasons that I cannot talk about, unfortunately. But hopefully, I will be making some regular trips over there. So, excuse me. Wow, excuse me, folks. Sorry about that. Unfortunately, this cough is a nasty one. Hold on just a second. I'm just going to mute myself so you don't have to hear this. There we go. Sorry about that. It was just, I needed to particularly go for it, and I didn't really want you to have to hear it. So there we go. Raina says, I'll translate for you, but I think you're much better in production than me. Well, you know, I don't know about that, Raina. You've got some talent too. So, you know, I would consider us colleagues, equals, to be honest. I missed something, I'm pretty sure. Let me go back and look. Oh, Dave says, hey everybody, no, I got that one. I'm pretty sure I missed another one now. What else did I miss? Mika's here. He says, sorry to be late. It was finishing the Hoppin' John for the family and friends. Awesome. Well, good to be here, Mika. Thank you for being here. Especially as you were on Jonny's show as well. But I have my glass here of really rather expensive champagne. And I don't normally drink when I'm on the job, but today, it's different, and it's my show, so my rules. But I propose a toast, and that's to you guys. Here's to a roaringly successful, happy, healthy, and music-making 2020. Here's to all of you, and thank you very much, every single one of you, for all of your encouragement and support of Jonny Lipsham Studios and this channel and my music and my courses and everything else. You guys have been absolutely awesome, and 2020 would not have been 2019 I'm not that far in the future yet. 2019 wouldn't have been half the year if it hadn't been for you guys. So here's to all of you. There we go, and I needed that to stop me coughing for the next 10 minutes anyway. Any excuse. Sean Aaron is here, and he has, I think that's beers and treble clef and applause. Awesome. Thank you very much, Sean Aaron. Appreciate that. And it looks like Michael and Ken are going to be working together, which is awesome. That has made my New Year's straight away. That has made me very, very happy straight away. It's not apple juice, Mike. No, it's actually genuine bona fide champagne. It's real. It's the real stuff. Yeah, it's proper champagne. I don't drink very much. I used to drink like a fish, but nowadays it's just, the occasional bottle of beer, and at New Year's I will have some champagne. And sometimes I'll have maybe a bottle of champagne, and sometimes maybe I'll have 2 bottles of champagne at New Year's. I have been known to do that. But this year I've been actually very reserved. I'm only on my 4th glass, so so we're good, and I'm not in the slightest bit drunk. Michael says 2019 sucked, just saying. Well, you know what, Mike? Onward and forward into good things for 2020. Absolutely. And already, look, you have made a fantastic connection there with Ken, and you guys are going to make awesome music together. Absolutely. Ooh, wow. Mika says, after Brexit, a bottle of French bubbly will cost double. Yes, unfortunately it will. Quite likely, which is why I will probably be doing what a lot of Brits will be doing, which is hopping over to France and buying cases of the stuff before we actually leave. Now, here's the thing. Although there is this arbitrary date of January 31st, that's only when the withdrawal agreement comes into effect. That doesn't necessarily mean that we have actually left the EU, because there's a whole bunch of other things that have got to be unpicked and sorted out, and laws that have to be changed, and stuff that has to be renegotiated, and it's going to take years. It's probably going to take the best part of 10 or 15 years before we actually completely leave the EU. And there will be certain things that we will still be entitled to as individuals, not necessarily as a nation, as the United Kingdom, but certainly as individual citizens, that we will still be entitled to when in Europe and when going to and from Europe, that we will still be entitled to hold on to. And that's for individual citizens to sign up to. So there will be stuff like that. But as was said on Jonny's show the other night, this is not really a show for politics, but I just wanted to get that out there, that yes, although champagne and French beer and French wine may well be, European wines and European beers may well be a lot more expensive after Brexit, because of tariffs and all of that. It'll take a while before those actually come into effect. Mike says champagne is nasty. It's just too damn bubbly. Yeah, if you really don't like bubbles, then yes, that may well be your reaction to it. Just Bob says, it's been an honor to know you, Jonny. Looking forward to the new year and having the chance to learn and grow with you. Well, thank you very much, Bob. I really appreciate those very kind words. And I likewise, it goes both ways. I really am looking forward to learning and growing with you. For as much as you guys learn from me, I learn from you as well. For me, education is a two-way street. This isn't just about me, the teacher, teaching you, the students. To me, this is relational. For as much as I teach you guys and bring input and encouragement and some direction and some focus to you guys for your productions, your music, your songwriting, and all of that, I learn from you guys too. It's a two-way street, man. And for me, that's the way education should work. It shouldn't be didactic. It should be, a two-way street, a two-way relationship between student and teacher. There is a sense to where a teacher should be equal to the student and the student equal to the teacher. Because I am not the fount of all wisdom and knowledge. Sometimes you guys impart wisdom and knowledge to me, and that's great. And I totally am very, very open to receive as much from you guys as I am able to impart to you guys. Brexit sucks, says Raina. Yes, I completely agree with that. Let's see. Michael says, I've always had a connection with Ken. Too bad our lives and busy schedules get in the way. Yeah, it is a shame that life kind of has that effect quite often. But I'm glad you guys are figuring something out, which is great. Mika says, as Buddha would say, be here now, enjoy life now, there may not be a later. That's a fatalistic way of looking at life. Not a view that I necessarily subscribe to, but I would agree with the enjoy now aspect of things. I'd agree with that, certainly. Comsy KJ is here. Good to see you. Happy New Year. And he says, thought of registering as an EU citizen. I have thought of that. I hold various passports for various reasons. So yes, I have thought of registering as an EU citizen. Haven't done that yet, but who knows? I may well. Sean Aaron says, since joining HST and following Lipsham for the last 2 years, music has been awesome. So much creating. It's sweet. Well, thank you very much. That is very kind. And yes, Jonny is an educator of the highest order. He has a lot to teach and a lot to bring to the table. And, you know, his unique approach to music production is of great value, I think. And, you know, his shows are really, really entertaining, and his videos likewise. So, absolutely. You know, I would not be sitting here doing a live stream now if it hadn't been for Jonny Guy, because really, Jonny showed me how to do it. You know, before I met Jonny, I had never made a YouTube video, really. I played about at it, but I'd never really seriously thought, hey, you know, I could actually make videos to teach what I know. I just didn't have any idea how to do it. I didn't have any clue how to get all the audio routed so that you get my mic plus Studio One and everything else. I had no idea, really, and it was Jonny that encouraged me to go ahead and get started making videos, because he thought I had something valuable to bring, and you guys seem to agree with that, which is great. But yeah, I wouldn't be doing this if it hadn't been for Jonny Guy, so we owe a lot to him, for sure. Greg Janes is here. He says, I make wine. My blackberry, blueberry, raspberry blend is great, but probably going for some Pinot Noir I made a few years ago. It's good. Customs will get me if I send you some, though. Unfortunately, Greg, you are quite correct. They will get you, unfortunately. And they would charge me a fortune. Sadly. Ken says, yes, Mike, I think we complement each other well. Just need to find and schedule time. Absolutely. This is really exciting, folks. This is what I love about this community. You know, this is exactly what I started my YouTube channel for. This is exactly what I started making videos for. This is exactly what I started teaching for, was to see people making connections and, you know, formulating very serious plans to collaborate together. That's what this is all about. And it's so, so cool that here we are at 2:20 in the morning on January 1st, 2020. And this is the best way to start the new year. Now, I know some of you guys on the show here are not in 2020 yet, but really, trust me, this is the best way to start the year. Coming up with a plan, working with somebody, agreeing to work with somebody, and developing some content and just making music together and encouraging each other to make music. That is why I started this whole thing. You know, I was going to say something else then, but, you know, that is why I started this whole thing. So this thing with Michael and Ken here, this is great. This really, really encourages me massively. You guys have made my night. Thank you very much for that. Let's see. 13 in the house and 8 likes. Let's give Jonny 13 likes. Yes, we, according to YouTube here, we have 16 now, which is very cool. So yeah, please do hit the like button down there somewhere. I would very much appreciate that. And if you have a few dollars to spare, please do hit the super chat button as well. It would be great to start the new year on a high for sure, definitely. And I can go much higher than that, but I don't want to make too much noise with my guest sleeping next door. And Bob says, your show has grown very organically and now has a family cozy feel. Well done. Thank you very much. Yeah, I really, really do like this community that I have been able to build here. According to YouTube, I have about 3,300, nearly 3,400 subscribers. And average attendance on this live stream is about 25, maybe 30. Sometimes we go a little bit higher than that. I would love to start averaging about 50, and then I'd love to see that push up. Now, you know, I'm cool with the fact that we may never see much more than 1% attending my live streams. But it'd be really, really cool if we could up the attendance a wee bit in 2020. That would be awesome. And another thing I wanted to kind of mention at the start of the year, I'm going to have some more champagne. My voice is beginning to pack up on me. There we go. Another thing I wanted to mention going forward. Please do go to jonnylipshamstudios.co.uk and hit the red Get My Course Now button. It's right at the top of the page. And if you go there, you will get my brand new compression course. It replaces the old one that was my old giveaway. So I've got a brand new one now. And also, when you do that, you'll get a second email sent to you inviting you to join my community forum. I'd love it if we could get everybody onto my community forum as well. It's a forum. It's not quite like Facebook, but it is a little kind of forum. And if you have bought any of my courses, and you are enjoying them, or you're finding them helpful, or you have a question, you can put it in the forum there, and I can give some detailed answers. And also, one of the things I want to do is to do some community-only live streams, so that if you are involved directly in that Jonny Lipsham Studios community forum, I want to do a stream that is just dedicated just to you guys. I want to do one maybe once a month. I'm not 100% on that yet, but that's something certainly I'm thinking about. Maybe just doing a sort of 30-minute Q&A session in the forum. That would be awesome if you guys could go and get on there. It's absolutely free. You don't have to pay anything for that. Can I drop a link in the chat? Yeah, just give me 1 second to do that. Let me see. I have to open a new tab in Chrome, and that takes up RAM, which I don't have a lot of these days. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you on my screen, but yes, I will drop a link in as well. Hang on. All right, so if you go to jonnylipshamstudios.co.uk, and if you hit this red button here, get my free course now, and just go through the sign-up procedure. Once you go through that sign-up procedure, you'll get access to my compression 1.0 course, and then you should get a second email that gives you access to the forum. I'll show you the forum. I have the forum because, well, I'm an administrator anyway, so I have everything. Here's my store. These are my new courses, by the way. But when you have signed up and you're logged in, you get this button here called My Library. If you go to the library, it shows you the products that you have purchased. Now, obviously, because I'm administrator, I have everything. And you'll only have what you've purchased here. But when you've purchased the forum, it's free, but it is essentially a product. But it is totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. You go to my library. Once you're logged in, go to my library, and then go to the forum here. And then this is what it looks like. At the moment, it does need tarting up a little bit, and it will be. But it's kind of a little bit rough and ready at the moment, but it's going to be tarted up a little bit. And these are kind of the topics that we have at the moment. There's a topic and a feed. You can have either view. And you can see some folks have already left some comments, and we've got a few people here already. So there's Sean Aaron right there. And we've got Bobby Booth here as well. And so in each of the topics, when you come and join, go to this one here that says introduce yourself. As you can see, Mark Corbett was the first one to do so, and he tells a little bit about himself here. You guys go and do likewise. I've got Dwayne here as well, who is a regular on my Sunday Night Live, and he's a regular over at Jonny's shows as well. Just go and write something here, and tell us all a little bit about yourself, and then there's some rules over here. But yes, I'm going to do at least one Q&A session. At least one Q&A session for folks in the forum. All right, so that's something that's very cool to be able to do. And here's my services as well. One of the things that I am offering brand new for 2020 is custom Skype tutorials. So if you want some extra one-on-one training, just shoot me an email, hit this red button here, and we can set up Skype calls to do that. If you want to send me a mix to critique as well, you can do the same. Just hit the red button there. And so there you go. I hope that's helpful, and I will put the link to the website just now. So go Control Copy, and I'll put that in just now in the chat. Okay. There you go. There's the link to the site right there. Sean says the compression course is very helpful. Was fun mixing paper deity. Excellent. Well, I'm glad you found it fun, and I'm glad you found it helpful. It was good fun making it, actually. Who do we have here? Fud Firebird says hello from New South Wales. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, my friend. Thank you for coming, because it'll be. Gosh, what time will it be there? I know you guys in Australia are experiencing some of the worst, if not the worst, bushfires in the history of Australia out there at the moment. I have some friends that are kind of in that area, in the Melbourne area. So to all my Australian friends, I am standing with you in solidarity, and my thoughts and my prayers are very definitely with you. And look after yourselves and look after your families and your communities. Be there for your communities. And certainly, you know, I'm sure that there will be in due course some fundraisers organized. I know the Disaster Emergency Fund, I think they are doing a fund for Australia as well, so I will be definitely contributing to that to make sure that my Australian friends and family are looked after and cared for and provided for, because, you know, there's a lot of people out there that have totally lost everything. So, Snidely Whiplash is here. He says, do you know how to jump to another bank in Impact with the Atom? I don't, because I don't have an Atom. I would like to get one, but I don't have one yet. I believe I have one being sent to me, but I don't have one yet. So unfortunately, the Atom is not really something I know much about. But at the moment, Jonny Gibe is the man for Atom. I believe he's done a course, a video series on it, actually. Let's see. Sean Aaron says, I don't play music anything like Paper Deity. Put me outside my musical realm. Well, that's very, very cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. And if you would like to send me your mix to have a listen to, then please do. Please do shoot me an email. I'd be happy to give it a listen. And I'm glad you found it useful. So we've got about 16 people here and 10 likes, which is awesome. It's coming up on 2:30. My voice is gradually giving up on me, but I'm going to keep going for as long as I can. And then we will call it a night. Mika says, 1991 Amazon, we're a bookstore online. 2019 Amazon, we are building a war cloud for the Pentagon. That's funny. Yeah, something like that. I'm pretty sure Amazon want to rule the world. But don't kind of hold me to that quote. Or say, hey, Jonny Lipsham said Amazon want to take over the world, because I may be wrong. Steve Louth is here. He says, Happy New Year. Absolutely. And all the rest of that. Absolutely. Happy New Year to you, Steve. I'm not going to play any more of that because I don't want to get done for copyright and be demonetized. That would be crap. Sean Aaron says, I will send my mix. Awesome. Yeah, send it to me as a high quality MP3. And I'll look forward to receiving that. Send it to Jonny at jonnylipshamstudios.co.uk. And I will be delighted to receive that. I'm going to run out of this stuff fast. I think what we'll do, folks, is I'll keep going until I've emptied the glass. When the glass is empty, that is when we'll end the show. Because it is getting very late here. What do I mean? Getting. It is very late. Sounds like a Rhodes. Yes. It's the Clavier Nord Stage 88 that I'm using here. I do actually have a real Rhodes. It's in the lounge. And I have guests sleeping in the lounge, so I can't go and play it. But this model's the Rhodes Mark V, which is what I have next door. So it sounds pretty much exactly like it. There you go. Movie Kid Tech Life is here. He says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Welcome. Looks tasty. Yes, I got this in 2006. And I think I have updated the library and the OS on it twice. I think that's all I've done. And it's dead easy to update. There's a USB cable. And you just connect the USB to the computer. And you go to the Clavier Nord library and you just download it all for free. It's great. Fud Firebird says, thanks Jonny, it is bad and very frightening here. The firefighters are amazing and are real heroes. Yes, they most definitely are, because I imagine that they have never seen fire quite like it in their careers. And they are the ones that are standing in the way of danger for the sake of the community, which is awesome. Firefighters are amazing. Some of my closest friends are firefighters, and they really are genuinely heroes for sure. Remember the Insonics keyboard? Oh gosh, yes. I remember those. But this is great. The sounds on this are physically modeled, so they're not just samples. They are physically modeled, which is why they sound so freaking good. You know, if you play like the C7 sharp 11 chord, it just sounds so gorgeous. Or if I put the 13 on top. sounds so gorgeous. Bob says, can you briefly explain how you got the screen on the short vid you put out on the splitter tool overview? The video starts already on that screen. Oh gosh, I have to think about that video now. How did I do that video? How I got to the screen on the short video you put out on the splitter tool. Oh, do you mean how you get to the splitter? Is that what you mean? With the channel editor thing already open, is that what you mean? I might be able to show you that. Hang on a second. Let's see. I don't really have a song actually properly open here, but I can show you it if I just add a track here, just for fun. So yeah, so when you've got a track in Studio One, a channel in the mixer rather, because it's tracks up here, channels down here, because tracks are on tape effectively and channels are on the mixer. So when I have a channel on the mixer and I want to do all of that crazy funky routing in the splitter, the first thing you do is you go to this little button here, just above the little wave icon or instrument icon or whatever the icon is for that channel. When you hover over it, it says channel editor. So you give that a click and then this guy opens up. And the cool thing about this is you can map all of these and you can do crazy automation and all sorts of things there, but that's not what we're interested in. What we're interested in is this here that says routing. And this is where the splitter lives. So if I click there, now I have the splitter open. And I can go to my effects and I can go and grab my MJUC. I can insert a splitter on here. I can move this guy to over here. And basically now what that means is that the channel is split, the audio is split into two channels. And on one side is going to go through the MJUC and I'll probably compress the crap out of it. And then the other side is not going to be compressed at all. And then the two are summed together. So this is essentially a circuit diagram. And you can have up to 5 splitters, I believe. And there's different things you can do. Like if I click on the splitter box itself here, you can mute one side, you can, or not mute the other side. At the moment it's in normal split mode, but you can have it in channel split. Or you can have it in frequency split mode. And I've got videos coming on all of this stuff. So I'm not going to go into too terribly much detail right now. But yeah, I've got videos coming out on these different split modes and how you can change the balance between the two and how you can do frequency splits and that kind of stuff. So you can actually turn this into a dynamic EQ if you wanted to. You know, there's no dynamic EQ plugin in Studio One, so you can, in fact, create one using the splitter function. And it's also a nice and clean behind-the-scenes way of being able to do parallel compression, which is what I'm showing here, and what I showed in the video as well, is a smart way to do parallel compression. And it just keeps it all nice and clean and crisp and on one channel. So when you close that, look, there's no extra parallel bus created. I've just got the one channel. Normally, excuse me. Normally I would create a second parallel bus. In fact, on other songs I have like my normal busing system, and then I have a whole bunch of parallel buses because I like to do a lot of parallel compression. I pretty much parallel compress all of my buses, to be honest. And then I blend them in underneath. Now, for some styles of music, you don't need to do that. Like if you're doing folk and acoustic music, you don't need to do parallel compression. In fact, you don't really need to do a whole lot of compression. You're just doing a little bit. But, you know, same with jazz. You probably don't want to do a lot of parallel compression, if any at all. But, you know, for more pop or EDM or, you know, rock or anything kind of, anything heavy that has like a big dynamic range, then parallel compression can be very much your best friend for giving certain elements of your mix that real in-your-face, up-front amount of punch and impact and width and just, what's the word that Graham Cochran uses? Bigness. So there. So I hope that that helps you with that one. There you go. Let's see. Snidely still has his Oberheim matrix. That's awesome. Just Bob says, thank you. I missed how to do it on Jonny Gibe's show, but watched you guys figure it out after opened. Okay, cool. I'm glad. So yeah, by all means, go back and rewatch the overview of the splitter video that I did. Because that's going to be the first in a series of videos, so there will be several. I don't know how many videos I'm going to do yet, but there will be 2, maybe 3 videos in that series where I'll go over the different things you can do with the splitter, because it is incredible. And it's not stuff that I will maybe ever really do necessarily in much of the work that I do, because it doesn't really require it, but it's useful and it's there to be used and to be creative with. Fun Firebird says, I know you have done videos on it. However, is the PreSonus Symphonic Orchestra add-on good? Yes, I did do a complete series, actually, on the PreSonus Symphonic Orchestra, and I went through each section of the orchestra. So I did the woodwinds, the brass, percussion, and the brass, and the choir. There is a choir. Dear God, there is a choir section there as well, and there's all sorts of music loops as well that you can make use of. For the price you pay for it, it is extremely good. The price point at which PreSonus have pitched it is extremely good. The samples are recordings of the London Symphony Orchestra, and they, as ever, sound extraordinary. They are a tremendously gifted orchestra. They are terrific musicians. And all really, really well captured by the guys at PreSonus. More champagne. The one thing you do need to do, though, and you will find that this is in the end user license agreement for the PreSonus Symphonic Orchestra, is that if you use it in a production that you are involved in that is going to be monetized, i.e. it's going to make money, and you're going to sell the song that you have used in, you need to credit the London Symphony Orchestra and the PreSonus Symphonic Orchestra add-on in the liner notes or on the CD or wherever it is on, iTunes or wherever it is that it's going to go. Wherever it's going to go that makes money, you have to do that. I got caught out on that once because I did not read it. I did not read the end user license agreement, and I got called on it. And my good friends at PreSonus corrected me and said, "Yeah, you need to do that." So I was just like, "Okay, fine, that's cool, not a problem." So all you need to do is just state on there that you're using the PreSonus Symphonic Orchestra with performances by the London Symphony Orchestra. And that's pretty much it. To be honest, we've been going for nearly an hour, good grief. So I'm going to wrap this show up in about 5 minutes, folks, because it is coming up on 2:45 in the morning here, and it's New Year's Day tomorrow, and I don't want to be tired and grumpy for everybody, and I want to actually have a voice to speak with. Would be nice. But thank you so very much, all 15 or 16 of you that have been here, considering I didn't advertise this at all. I just basically put up something that said, hey, I'm going online in about 15 minutes. So I appreciate it very much, folks. You guys are amazing. And I'm thrilled and excited about all that is coming for 2020. I've got lots of stuff that I am going to be putting out in the course of 2020. I've got some video series that I am planning, and some of which I'm already shooting, that is going to be coming out over the course of the next 6 months or so, that are going to be epic. I've got some new courses that are going to be available for sale in my my brand new website in the brand new store, which are going to be awesome. And I definitely recommend you get your hands on those new courses when they come out, because they are going to be really, really good. And you will find them tremendously helpful. And as I say, I've got some other series coming out that are just going to be on YouTube. They are going to be amazing. And I've got some new stuff which I'm going to teach, some new stuff which I'm going to show on this channel on my Sunday Night Lives as well. So it's going to be really, really awesome. And I want to say a big thank you to everybody that has supported me through 2019. And I'm very much looking forward to working with you all in 2020. And my voice really is beginning to pack up. So I think maybe we should probably call it a day, call it a night, whatever, here. But thank you so very much, folks. And I will see you on Sunday, January 5th, where we will be back to our regular scheduled programming, which will be Sunday Night Live. Michael says, thanks, dude. I would throw you a few bucks, but Christmas killed me. Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. It killed me too. But thanks a lot, folks. And I will very much look forward to seeing you on Sunday for the very first episode of Sunday Night Live of 2020. It's going to be awesome. I'll see you then, folks. Good night. Where's that button? There it is. Good night, everybody. Good night.